Hey, SJFO212 here. Want to welcome all you guys to today's Tank Talk. Now, for today, I figured we might as well examine the question of German light armor. Should you go with the good old Panzerkampfwagen 38T, or should you pull out the Panzerkampfwagen 2 Luchs? Now, if I remember correctly, Luchs might name Lynx, so I'm just going to call it the Lynx. Now, first off, I'd like to start discussing kind of the differences between these two from what I've done, because I play tanker a lot. The 38T, that was, the light tank to have for the Germans before the Zhukov armored ambush update. And this has a 37mm cannon, pretty good front armor. I've bounced a couple shells, and a support gunner that can't stick his head out of the hatch. Now, the Luchs has a 20mm autocannon, but no support gunner. So if you are going to be going with more than one person, probably you should take the 38T. Now, onto the strengths of the Luchs. I never bought the Panzer II, as you can see here. I went straight from Panzer I all the way to 38T. So I can't tell you how good or bad it was before Zhukov. But the Lynx, whenever it first came out, of course I bought it because, I was a tanker and it was a new toy to play with. Before it got buffed, just after the Z update, it took 3 tanks to tank down 1 BT-7, and that was before the update. They halved its magazine size, it and the Panzer II, so now it has a 10-round magazine. It has, I think, a 1.5 times the fire rate of the Panzer II, though, so you're going to get all 10 of those shots out a little faster. But after the buff, it dealt 50% more damage per bullet to everything, which meant that you can now one-clip a tank from the rear with the Luchs, which is what it's used for. As you can see here, I have AP composite rigid loaded into the cannon, while I have HE in reserve. Now, a thing that I've found that the HE isn't really that effective. I think I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 kills with it that I wouldn't have been able to get with just regular old AP and machine gun. So, as for the HE's effectiveness, I would say probably not worth it. But the APCR, if you're going to get the Luchs, go immediately to rank 5 on the Luchs and get APCR. You will pin things from farther away, you will pin it more often and do more damage, which is ultimately the secret, because this is kind of like the German Hellcat. It's fast and it's meant to be a flanking tank. You can't really bust straight head on to the point in the Luchs and just start shelling everything. You have to go around behind the enemy. This is wonderful if you're trying to take out enemy tanks. Like I said, it can one-clip them, which is absolutely hilarious to go up behind a camping tank on a hill and just take it out in 2 seconds. However, the T-70, which is the Soviet light tank, you will have a hard time penetrating the T-70 on anything. Well, you can penetrate from the sides and rear, but the front, no. You're going to need 4 clips to take down a T-70 from the front, because on average you only pin maybe 2 or 3 per clip. And this is something that I and my buddies have tested with full health tanks. So, I do have one complaint. Yes, I realize that it's fast. It's really fast. It's nice to be able to go flying over a hill and just drive off and skirmish with other tanks and run circles around them. But its traverse time is decent, but the reverse is so slow. Oh my word, the Panzer I has a faster reverse than this thing. Like, this thing's reverse is a joke. It's about as slow as a Tiger tank in reverse. So that's one thing that has gotten me killed more than once if I just need to speedily reverse and come out around. But if you like to stalk around the corners of the map and go for it, go for other tanks and shoot them in the butt and make them explode, the Luchs would be a nice choice. Now, onto the old fallback, the 38T. 38T has thicker armor and a higher traverse speed. It actually has a cannon, which is kind of affected more by the fast reload for tankers, which is the gunner badge. Typically, I have APCR in mine. I have APCR loaded on every tank because it ticks me off to no end to steal a tank and get in, see a gunner has spawned in with high explosive already loaded. Because as a tank, your first job is to battle other tanks, get rid of them, and then support the infantry. So that's why I spawn in with AP loaded. And then I'll have the HE in reserve. But the HE on the 38T is far more effective than the little 20mm. You can hit people behind walls, you can hit people inside of buildings. If you're wanting to take out infantry, this would be the tank to do it. I mean, yes, the Luchs can take down jeeps and whatnot in 4 or 5 shots, but if you're going to be going for infantry on the ground, nothing is better than an actual cannon shell, an HE shell. Which is, I mean, look at it. It's built like a tank. You can tell it's really small, it's really fast looking. This thing is meant to charge straight up to the point and start shelling everything. I personally, after playing with the Luchs for a long time, as fun and hilarious as it is to one-clip another tank, I find myself going back to the 38T more and more, simply because I like it. I mean, with APCR, it's a 4-shot kill to all other light tanks, and it's a solid weapon. It has good acceleration. It has far better reverse than the Luchs. Like, it leaves the Luchs in the dust. So, personally, in my opinion, the 38T is going to be more viable all around. It can deal with infantry as well as other tanks, while the Luchs it just seems to be more specialized in taking out other tanks. If you're going to want to have them both in the same light tank match, as obviously I've only got one German tanker, so I've got to choose which one I want to go with, but I would keep your main tanker onto the 38T, then grind up a second tanker to get the Luchs, and only keep the Luchs equipped for whenever you need it in battles. So, like I said, personally, I like the 38T better than the Luchs. Luchs is it's fun to use. It's absolutely a blast to use. And there's nothing scarier than hearing that rapid fire cannon. But the 38T is just a better tank all around because it has more than one job. And I can get pinned on the front armor by a PTRD and not get pinned by a PTRD in the 38T, while the Luchs is kind of papery. So anyway, that brings today's tank talk to a close. I really like it. If you could give me some feedback, let me know if you want to see more. What other tanks you'd like to see? I'm currently working on a US tanker, so I'll be able to answer some age-old questions about very sensitive tanks, i.e. the Hellcat, the E8, and whatnot. But anyways, as of right now, 38T, in my opinion, is better than Luchs. So go all for it, get your 38T, and then go on. This is SJF0212 signing off, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield in your 38Ts. Goodbye.